Hi everyone, Ann Martin here from the BLISSbowls Sound Healing and Meditation Methods, and I'm here to talk about the handheld gong. I've been getting lots of questions about this, so I thought I'd just make a quick video and tell you what I know about the handheld gong, and then you can take it from there. The purpose of a handheld gong is to be able to move the sound. In fact, it's quite handy for actually bringing the sound to the people or to an individual, and they can have a very personal experience through the handheld gong because it can be brought right up to them. Benefits of the handheld gong? Well, they're much cheaper than the big gongs, so they're going to be easier to buy. You don't have to necessarily buy a stand for it. You don't have to buy a padded case for it. Maybe you just need to buy one or two mallets rather than a whole variety of mallets. And let's see, it's easier on the body to move around with you and take with you. So those are some key benefits. So different types of handheld gongs. Well, there's a ton of them. What I can tell you is the reasons that I chose this one, and maybe that will give you a starting point. This is called an Atlantis gong, and my goal was to find a 16-inch gong with the lowest, richest sound possible. So I was steered through Gongs Unlimited to buy the Atlantis gong. It's an unlathed gong is what it's called. It has this dull finish to it. The shiny gongs have a shiny, brassy, piercing sound, and the Atlantis gong has kind of a mellow, rich, deep sound. And that's what I wanted. That was my preference. So there's lots and lots of different types of gongs. You just have to figure out what resonates with you. If you go bigger than this, it's going to be heavier, more cumbersome, but the sound will be deeper. And if you go smaller than this, it's going to be very tingy, maybe even difficult to listen to. So I would suggest, listening to as many gongs as you can or trying them out yourself and see what appeals to you. So who uses a handheld gong? Well, a lot of yoga instructors do. A lot of sound energy practitioners that do sound concerts in a big open space with lots of resting bodies. Even like healers and practitioners that work in a closed-in room can use the handheld gong to provide that one-on-one experience with gong vibrations for their clients. So let's talk about a couple of techniques. Here's some how-tos. First of all, let's look at mallets. Now, here's a mallet that I have for my big Paiste gong. It's going to offer a rich, deeper sound. Maybe you can hear that. Here's a mallet that goes with one of my large singing bowls. So let's try this one. There's a few different nuances in there, a much brighter top end. And then I think this is the mallet that I bought to go with the gong. Very different. So you might want to invest in a variety of mallets to go with your gong just so you can achieve different effects. This is how I hold the gong. I just put my hand through it like that, and then take this extra part and wrap it around, just so I have a really good grip. Now let's talk different techniques. You can swing the gong over a resting body. That's what that looks like. And believe me, if you're lying on the floor and the gong comes and sweeps over you, it's extremely restful and allows people to fully open and receive the vibrations. Another technique is to stand and jiggle the gong. It's kind of like pumping the sound into maybe the head area, or pumping the sound into the feet area for grounding. This works well on a treatment table. You can just stand at the head of the table, tap it gently, and sort of pump the sound into that area. You can walk with the gong. Sound in motion in a huge room is very effective. As you walk and you swing and you play, the people who are receiving the sounds can visualize that, this sound is floating around the room. Or stand in all four corners and play the gong in all the four corners. And that's effective. You can also twist the gong. And that's a new sound altogether as well. Here's a few more ideas for you. When you get your gong, get to know your gong. There's a lot of ways to get to know your gong. Play it very, very loud. Play it as loud as it will go and see what it sounds like. Then play it very, very softly and imagine what that sounds like or what kinds of visuals come up for you in your mind. Learn the sweet spot in your gong. There's a sweet spot in every gong. It's that place that you can hit and it will sound the same. You can depend on that sweet spot for producing that reliable sound. You can play on the rim, see what that sounds like, or play on the very edge. That's a totally different sound altogether. Play in the center exclusively. See what happens there. Play it rhythmically. Practice with adding different rhythms like you would a shaman's drum, like tap, tap, slow, tap, tap, slow. See what kind of effects you can get there. And then think to yourself, what is my intention with the gong today? Is it to release? Perhaps if it's to release, you might want to tap the gong counterclockwise, or walk around the room counterclockwise to release. Maybe your intention is to bring in unconditional love. In that case, you would play clockwise or walk clockwise around the room. Soundscaping is something that you can do with gongs because they produce complex combinations of tones and sounds. So practice visualizing what kind of soundscape you might want to create, and then what mallets and what techniques are going to produce that for your people. Allow the gong to play through you. Ask yourself, what is the gong here to teach me today? Be that open conduit for the universal energy to come through, and then allow that energy to come through with the gong. Use the gong as your tool to send out your positive intention on waves of resonance from this instrument. It's very good at taking an intention and sending it out into the universe. Get yourself a handheld gong and have some fun with it. I'm sure you can figure out a whole bunch of other techniques that I haven't even imagined. But this will get you started. So here's Ann Martin signing off with the Atlantis gong and mallet, and best of luck to you. Bye for now.